Who's number one? Who's number one? Who's number one? Who's number one? From the Cinderella stories that gave us reasons to celebrate, to the worst coaches who just couldn't motivate, to the best masters where being great depended on how well you could concentrate. From the worst trades by GMs who just couldn't evaluate, to the best game sevens that made the hair in your arms percolate. The buzzer beaters that made you happy that you stayed up late. The most overplayed moments that weren't that great. The NFL draft bust that never quite got out the gate. The most outrageous characters that you just love to hate. If who's number one is the topic that you love to debate, then smile, cause you no longer have to wait. You see, this is not a commercial, the show's already begun. So who's number one? Who's number one? Who's number one?
One.
Nowadays, to win in a sport like tennis, you have to be room service, skim milk, 24 hours a day dedicated.
Anna Kournikova, the epitome of the fantasy figure. She fueled the testosterone of males young and old and made a pile of money along the way. Although she was once ranked number 8 in the world, she never won a single WTA singles title in more than 100 tries.
I know she couldn't play tennis. She never won a final of a significant event. That said, for 5 to 6 years, she dominated the imaginations of young men all over the world. How can that be overrated?
I was playing against Kournikova, and a couple of these British boys were yelling, "Hornikova, come on, Hornikova."
She is a breathtakingly beautiful woman. You know, it's hard to get past that when you're a spectator and you're watching her play tennis. It's because she just looks great.
Good looking.
This was lust.
Good looking.
And she ran with it as far as she could run with it and ran right out of tennis, and people say, oh, what a waste. And I think she never looked back because I don't think she really cared about winning tennis tournaments to start with.
It wouldn't matter how I dress if I wouldn't be playing tennis. Nobody would look at me if I wouldn't be playing tennis. So of course I'm playing tennis here.
Anyone who thinks Anna Kournikova was a fraud from the beginning is mistaken.
You don't make the semifinals of Wimbledon as a teenager without having some skill.
You can't do that just because you're blonde and cute. She was the real deal. She had the goods and she was very hungry to be a great tennis champion. She lost her way a little.
Everybody wants to buy her clothing. Everybody wants to buy her calendars. Wherever she goes, she sells it out. She is an icon.
She was able to become Paris Hilton with the tennis racket. And she got it before we got it.
She's made a boatload of money. And she's what she wants to be, which is very famous, and she's fabulous, and she lives this glamorous lifestyle. She can make the $8 million either on the court or she can make it off the court. Well, it's guaranteed versus having to go earn it. What would you do?
The sad part of this whole thing is that somewhere along the line, I would think she'd have to give some thought. Did I reach my potential? And if she really told herself the true side of the story, she never did reach her potential.
In the end, it's a pity that Kournikova couldn't win one stinking tournament. Just one.
She's tennis's answer to Britney Spears. It's very much a 21st century success story without much substance in the middle.